Hello students, in allotropes of carbon we have second one is what? Graphite. So in graphite here if you see each carbon atom undergo sp2 hybridization. Okay. So in in diamond we have the sp3, now here sp2 and is covalently bonded to each other carbon atom by single bond. Here you can see the structure. So in graphite here if you see what is sp2 hybridization means, here valence electronic configuration 2s2 2p2, isn't it, for the carbon. Now here it is undergoing sp2 hybridization means this is the what ground state electronic configuration. Okay, now one of the electron is promoted to p orbitals. Now each orbital having the unpaired electron, it is undergoing what? sp2. Okay, sp2 means what? It is a trigonal planar structure and we have one unhybrid p orbital with one electron, isn't it? Okay, this you can see here, this is one unhybrid p orbital with one electron. Now once the sp2 means what the shape? Trigonal planar. Okay, so what happened like this, they are going to form the hexagonal structure, like we have the structure like hexagonal type. Okay, so in this if you see each carbon undergoing what? Undergoing, they are going sp2 hybridization. So here you can see, so they are going the hexagonal ring. Okay, like one carbon second, like we have the hexagonal rings are going to form. So in this each carbon atom undergoing what? sp2 hybridization and with having the one unhybrid p orbital. So all having the what? Unhybrid p orbitals. This pi orbital going to form the what? So here again I'm going to draw. We are going to get the hexagonal rings. Okay, so here if you see, after that we have the unhybrid p orbital. Okay, they are going to overlap together and forming the what? Pi bond. So as you know very well, unhybrid p orbital gives a what? Pi bond. Hybrid p orbitals gives a what? Sigma bonds. Okay, so in diamond we have the pi bond and sigma bond. So here you can see sp2 hybridization and is covalently bond together to form the what? Single bond. So orbitals giving the what? 3 sigma bonds. The fourth electron on each carbon atom for the pi bond. So already we discussed we have one unhybrid orbital that is going to form the what? Pi bond. In this way graphite consists of hexagonal rings in two-dimensional forms. Here you can see. Here you can see the hexagonal rings. Okay, means 6 we have there. So like this we have the some hexagonal rings. You can see. Okay, they are going to form the term some layer structures. Okay, this is hexagonal rings and it is for in the two dimension. Okay, in carbon covalent bond distance is how much? Here 141.5 picometer, indicating strong bonding. Okay, as you know very well, bond length is less. Actual carbon single bond should be 154 picometers. Okay, but here what happened, we have the less bond length. Okay, so less bond length means indicating means it is a what? Strong bond. These array of rings form layers. So already here you can see that these rings are going to form in the form of what? Layers. You can see these layers are separated by distance of 340 picometers. Here you can see, okay, these are going to form the what? They are going to form as a layer and these layers are having the what? Van der Waals bonds between them. Now here the distance between these two layers how much? 340 picometers. Distance between the carbon how much means 140 picometers. The electron forming pi bonds in the rings of graphite are delocalized and are relatively free to move under influence of electric field. Therefore, graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Here simply what I want to convey means, here we have one unhybrid p orbital, isn't it? Okay, so this having the what? One unpaired electron is there. So like this, if you take another one, what here, you can see the another carbon. This is, for example, this is a carbon. Okay, so uh, here we have the hybrid orbitals. Okay, they overlap together and we have the one unhybrid orbitals. So they are going to form the pi bonds. As you know very well, pi bond is a what? Weak bond. So here what happened, they are going to move under influence of what? Electric field. So because of this reason, graphite is a what? Good conductor of electricity. The large distance between these layers indicate that only weak van der Waals forces hold this together. Here already we discussed the distance. Here how much we have? 340 picometers. Okay. This much of long distance, how they are going to hold together means because of weak van der Waals forces or weak van der Waals bonds. The weak van der Waals forces which hold these layers together are responsible for the soft nature of graphite. Here, so as you know very well, van der Waals forces are very weak. So because of that reason, what happened? These layers are slip on one another. Okay, because of these weak van der Waals forces between layers, one layer can move over the other layer, producing the characteristic slippery nature. Therefore, graphite is used as a lubricant. Lubricant means, as you know very well, it should have slippery nature. So here if you see, so what happened here, because of weak van der Waals forces, this one layer can be slip on one another. Okay, because of that reason we are using as a what? Lubricant.